Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Sara's View of Life, right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sara Troy. Well, this episode is my 500th episode. I have been doing Sara's View of Life for 12 years coming up. And this is my 500th show here. I've obviously done many other shows interviewing other people, but Sara's View of Life is just me, my perspective, my point of view. And so this is the 500th show. So what am I going to cover today? Well, let's have a look back. When I first started this, it was called Ask Sara. And I was kind of hoping people would interact with me and share things that I could talk about and, discussions, etc. And that didn't happen. So then it went to Sara's View of Life because I have a program called Sara's View of Life, which is assessing your true colors, your astrology, numerology, Chineseology, the continuity between all of them, and your view of life, which is, compiling your personality traits, knowing who you are, why you are. It helps you understand why you interact the way you do, why people perceive you the way you do, what your real strengths are, what the weaknesses are. And I still do that now and again. You can go to saratroy.com to find that. And I still do that. But obviously podcasting and producing the books and things like this has kind of taken precedence. So 500 shows, 500 different topics. Yes, some of them have kind of got repeated now and again, but a different point of view around the same topic, like kindness and self-love and things like that. But some people find it difficult to kind of just press record and speak. And some people like to write things out and read for them. I'm a person that I may have written a blog, and then from that blog, I will do a show, or sometimes I do a show and from it comes the blog. I ask people to give me a word. This last week was on youth, so I did a show on youth, which is very passionate for me, as I produced our Forgotten Children book, which is all about how we're not serving our youth and how we need to change the system in order to serve them better. Why do I do what I do? I interview people that are making a difference in the world, that are educating us, that are empowering us, that are illuminating us. And I love what I do. I love meeting the people I meet. Just done a show on AI and medicine and how it can assist doctors and any medical practitioners on all the paperwork, assessing all your information in one place. If you have an accident and you go into an ER anywhere in the world, they can access your information and know your history. It will save lives, and it also saves a great deal of time for the doctors, and it just has so many benefits to us. And I love doing shows like that, and then the shows when people have written books, and people that have programs to help people in health and mental health and business, in raising our children, musicians, veterans, you name it. But this one was my perspective, and it's like I have a lot to share each week and a lot of different points of view, and 500 of them. That's only on my network. I did them on another network, which unfortunately she didn't save any of the shows. She took them all down, so I don't have access to them anymore. But let's summarize the 500 shows. Everything comes from the heart. Everything comes from that desire for humanity to rise up into a higher elevation of consciousness. Everything comes from the challenges that we face, the challenges I have faced. I have been completely open about my struggles with my health, my mental health, physical health, and spiritual health. And there's been many a time that I have faced that battle. and I've done a show on how I feel. But for me, it's like addressing what the problem is and looking at what we can do about it. It's always about what can we do about it. And sometimes it just requires self-love and self-care. And sometimes it requires us to reach out to other people and look for assistance. And where do we find that assistance? Well, of course, under this umbrella of self-discoverywisdom.com, you've got so many people and there's so many different genres that are of assistance for you. And, I've shared those. And how many people have helped me through the years through interviewing them that I've made of my own self discovery and discovered tools and things that help me on my journey of life. And I'm a totally different person now to who I was when I first started out 13 years ago. Um, which is my anniversary this week, my 13th anniversary in podcasting. And it's also my 500th show in Sara's View of Life. So all these celebrations, right? In June will be 12 years of my own network. When I started out with podcasting, I didn't even know what podcasting was. It was live on the other network. And first show I did, I pressed all the wrong buttons. Everything went wrong. It was chaotic. But I got the hang of it. Lots of things happened, people dropping, uh, me dropping, internet interruptions, you name it. But I learned from there the passion of sharing a story. And it was something that became very, very important to me to continue. And so that's why I started my own. But these shows have always been ones that are, as I said, sharing my own perspective. And I am 70 years of age. I've been through quite a roller coaster of a life. I've had a lot of ins and outs. And so there's a lot that I've seen. And there's a lot that I've seen from the sidelines, some I've seen from the center court. And it's my view on that, on what I've seen, what I felt, what I feel we can do better, what we can pay attention to. And each week I have brought you those perspectives. What do I feel right now? 13 years of podcasting, 500th of my own personal show on my network, never mind that one. And what do I feel is in the future? Well, because of the world disruption that we're seeing politically right now, the shake-up as the universe gave me. The universe is going to shake us up, to wake us up, for us to step up, change it up, and grow up vibrationally to a higher plane, but also grow up as human beings. And so many people, because that was given to me 7 years ago, so many people got the message then and have been stepping up, changing it up, and growing up. And for those that were still on the fence and stagnant, the shake-up is here. Shake-ups happen because what is happening needs to be shaken up and reset. And this shake-up is probably worse than the virus that hit us globally. It's happening in one country, having an effect on all countries. I'm in Canada, so yes, it wants to make us the 55th state. Not happening. But it is a time for us to look in outrage, yes, in anger, yes, but in how did we get here? And also, what can we do about it? And this shakeup is really showing us everything that is wrong with humanity. Everything that is happening in the US right now, happening in Russia, happening in China, happening anywhere where there is a tyrant or a dictator. All that is happening now is showing us that money and power are in the wrong hands with the wrong people, people that are generally very insecure in themselves, who feel small on the inside. And the only way for them to feel big is to become that tyrant, to abuse and use other people in order for them to feel more important. And you'll never give them enough power. You'll never give them enough of anything because their lack inside, it's a lackitude, not a gratitude, and it will never be enough. So we have to stop these people. There's no way that we can negotiate with them. They're just non-negotiable. So we're in this whirlwind at the present moment, and we can look at it as the shakeup, and it's one that we need to pay attention to. This is not the time to put your head in the sand and go, la, 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 la. I don't like politics. I don't like what's going on. I'm not going to pay attention to it, because that's how they win. It's not the time to get fearful and scared or run. It's the time to go, how do we together, arm in arm, stand up, speak out, push back, and not only defend ourselves, but defend those that have been victimized. This is the time that we're at. And I think that I get irate by what I see, but then I get uplifted by the people saying, we're going to fight back in any which way. They are trying to cripple the country. And the reason they want to take over Canada's resources, Greenland's resources, the reason why Russia's taking over the Ukraine is resources. It's nothing to do with the people or anything else. It's all that they want, the greed. It's all about the greed and the power. And the only thing that's happened in the States is that so much was done so fast. It became a shock. People's heads were spinning. They were kind of prepared for something, but not prepared for this. But what it has done is really caused people to rise up. Oh my God, what's going on? What are we going to do about this? That's horrific. Yes, we're talking about it, but what are we doing about it? And this is the time for togetherness. This is the time for arm in arm, not taking up arms. This is the time for common sense love, coming from a place of heart, and you putting our common sense noggin on, rolling up our sleeves as a mama and saying, kids, no, you're not playing nicely. And we have to be the support of each other. The way these kind of people win is when they have people turn on each other. So we need to not turn on each other. We need to come together. We may not 100% agree, but what we can agree on is an attack on humanity, on any human beings, emotionally, medically, educationally, trying to suppress, trying to take rights away, trying to demean, trying to delete, is against humanity. And if it's not you per se that they've picked out, it's somebody you know. So let's stand up for them. And really what we're looking at is nothing political right now. It's all about power. It's all about the lack of grace and dignity. It's all about destruction, complete destruction. And they want to rebuild everything in their light, which serves no one. You will have the 5% or maybe 2 or 3% at the top and the 95% becoming enslaved. Now, we know through history that the enslavement doesn't last long, right? That people eventually do push back. One of the things that we have today is things like podcasts, and we have things like social media, and we have things like education and even AI. And we can educate ourselves and we can come together because that information is here. If you look at World War II, if you look at many other wars, people were brainwashed very, very easily, and that domino effect happened through hysteria and fear and control. And now we are more educated. We can use these social media platforms, podcast platforms, TED Talk platforms, and the independent newscasts, and go, no, we're not, we're going to talk about this. We're going to tell you what's going on. We're going to tell you how we're pushing back, and we're inviting you to join us. And yes, we have AI, who I'm a huge advocate for, as you know. But again, AI is an accumulation of human intelligence, and it can be used for the greater good or it can be used against. And that is in the hands of the human beings. And when we use it for good, we all gain. When we don't use it for good, then we're going to see it become evil. The AI isn't evil. It's in the way that it's used. A gun itself is not evil. It's when it's picked up to shoot someone for somebody else's gain, it becomes evil. So let's make sure we understand that. So what are we going to do as a human race? Well, here I am, my 500th show, my 13th year as a podcaster. I am 70. I do have a lot of health issues that unfortunately kind of slow me down and don't allow me to do some things. But at the same time, I'm extremely passionate and very energetic in my passion to make sure that we as human beings do choose right. Do choose to support each other. Do choose to take the journey of your own self-discovery, your own self-love, igniting your own light within you so you become that beacon of light for other people. This is my platform. And with 3,700 shows here, under this umbrella of people that I've interviewed that are truly illuminating, extraordinary people that are already doing the work, and they're here to help you now. This is what I'm doing. And maybe it's just a grain in the beach, a grain of sand in the beach, but it will gather. And so there's so many people here that have been through the worst in life, and they made a choice to take a different direction and to choose to heal themselves and choose to look to the good and to choose to look to the meaningful purpose, and rather than the catastrophic of what happened to them. So we have a choice here to make right now. We either bend over or put a hand in the sand, or we choose to ignore it, or we choose to get angry and fight back and bring out the pitchforks, or we choose that common sense love and come from a place of compassion and understanding and standing firm, like a mama facing children that have gone become unruly, and standing firm and going, no, we're not going to tolerate this. And we're going to push back in every which way we can that is nonviolent. Violence is going to come, folks. It's going to come from the people that are that feel they have the right to violence, the ones that he incites to violence. But then you will also have the people that were promised X, Y, and Z that suddenly realize they don't have a job, they don't have security, they don't have medical, they don't have education, that the price of eggs have gone up, and they will revolt to violence against them. So we're going to see that. But in the meantime, in our higher conscious intellect, our soul intellect, we need to stand tall for humanity and united in compassion and empathy, and push back and come together. Because when we're a force together, we are the Davids facing Goliath. Do not get intimidated by Goliath. It's just a big thug. When we're the Davids, we can bring Goliath down. United we stand, and that's how we must continue to stand. So this 500th show, this 13th year, excuse me, this 13th year of doing this. Actually, 13th year happens on April 4th. This is obviously coming out in the last week of March. It is about me continuing the work, me continuing doing what I'm doing for as long as I can, continuing to bring you the change makers, the illuminators, the supporters, the igniters, the storytellers, the advocates, all of those people I will continue to bring you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com, as I will continue to look for the authors for Our Forgotten Seniors book. And I will do that in my own parameters of my own energy and what I can do. I am sorry that I am not always in fifth gear. I'm a consistent fourth gear when it comes to my work, but just due to the lack of my energy, I physically can't do as much as I would like to. So I do it in the way that I can through this. I hope there is another 500 shows in me. I wish to continue with this until I see a world that is stabilized, and I hope to see it in my lifetime. I hope to see that equilibrium and that pendulum swing and everything become more balanced and more equality, more based on humanity. But humanity does have to be shaken up. I thought that the COVID virus did a lot of shaking up and made people stop and think and prioritize. But now we're seeing it, that was on the individual level, and now we're looking at the political arena level. And, politics has become a surge of ill intent. People who are put in power to serve the people have become self-serving. And we need to put a stop to that. And we also need to put things in power that if a person is seen to not serving the people, they're out. So we need to put some protections in place. There's a lot that we have to do, folks, and we have to do it together. Togetherness is the key. It really doesn't matter. Black, white, pink, yellow, polka dot, who cares? Man, woman, child, alien, who cares? AI, human intellect, human spirit, human soul, all of it needs to come into play. This is a fight for humanity. This is a fight for our planet. This is a fight for us to put things right. And this is a fight for us as individuals. We cannot help others unless we have helped ourselves. We cannot help others if we are so desperately needing attention ourselves. If you spend time in finding self-love, self-care, self-purpose in yourself, and you step into your own illumination, you will then be of benefit to the people around you, and that ripple effect will ripple out. We really do want you to thrive. We really want you to be flawsome. We really want you to be a person that is exuberant about life and your purpose in it. We want you to feel life itself, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and to live in gratitude and not in a state of lackitude, to understand that less is more and that love connects all, and that we are the solution if we choose to be, and when we stop becoming the problem. So there's so much that I'm still going to be bringing to you. There's so much fight I'm still going to be bringing. My fight is on raising our consciousness, raising our compassion, raising our empathy, coming together as a community, standing tall with one another against the unrighteous. And the unrighteous are those that are taking and abusing and downright hurting humanity. And we need to stand up for it. We cannot blame a nation for its ruler. Even the people that were conned into voting, there are people that were in need and not heard. And so now they are hurting because they realize they voted wrong. And there will still be some that will, to their dying day, go with it because they're not in a state of heart and compassion, or they are ignorant to the fact of what has happened to them, or they've bought the Kool-Aid or drank the Kool-Aid and they're so far gone they can't see anything in front of them of reason. So we push back from a place of heart. We push back with common sense. We push back with facts. We push back with empowering each other. We push back but with the law in every way that we can. And for every door they close, we open another door. For everything they shut down, we open up something else. For every person they pull down, we pull them back up. This is the only way we're going to survive. And there was a great picture on social media that showed Russia and Ukraine, and that if Russia took Ukraine, the rest of Europe would be swallowed up. America falls, look at the domino effect it's already having around the world, but America is in its decline. I know Americans listeners don't want to hear this, but it is. If you look at history, every regime, every country that has reached its peak of power has had a decline, and it's a reset. And if you look at the opulence, the total disregard for planet, for people, for life itself, when you look at all of that, you go, yeah, there needs to be a reset. There are so many people that are oblivious to that their lifestyle hurts another. And there are so many people that as long as I'm all right, I don't care what happens to you. There are so many other people that are completely ignorant to what's going on around them and have no historical base to look at because it's all been deleted and thrown under the rug. You cannot rewrite history. History is history. And it's up to each and every one of us to look at history and learn for it for ourselves. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, right? Don't Don't go with the hysteria. Certainly don't go with the fear, but make sure that you are stepping up in one way or the other before you have something to be fearful of. I would actually say right now there's plenty to be fearful of. And this is why the action is needed. While you still have the power, while you still have the voice, while you still have the ability to act, this is the time for actionism. This is the time to step up. Whether you're a grain of sand or a bucket, we need you all. One way or the other, we've got to push back. So you will see more of this from me. And if this isn't what you want, then obviously don't listen. I'm here for the people who want to be supported. I'm here for the people who are supporting others. I'm here for accountability, our own accountability, our own responsibility, our own choices, but how we can support each person in those choices for the greater good, for recovering from, for in their self-discovery of what's next or who they are today. I'm in that support for all of that. I'm not going to put up with nonsense. I'm not going to put up with little boys having tantrums and trying to bring down the world to make themselves feel better. I don't have the time of day for that. A megalomaniac narcissist, there is no reasoning. There is nothing you can do to reason with them. They want what they want, and they will take what they want at all costs. And they don't care the trail they leave behind. So let us support the people that they want to victimize. Let's empower those people so they don't become victimized. Let's empower yourself so you don't become victimized. We are the solution. Let us stop being the problem. Let us speak out. Let us step up. Let us join forces. And let us be that force of love and common sense and accountability against the giants. Because giants can fall very, very easily if you know how to pull the legs from underneath them. I have loved doing these shows. I have loved just opening my mouth and letting myself speak. Not that I want to hear myself because I don't listen back, but it gives me a platform to speak, whether I'm writing it as a blog, whether I'm speaking it as a vlog, video blog, or an audio blog. It's given me a chance to have my voice and have my say. And we've all got that right to have that. We've all got that right to speak our mind or speak our soul or speak our spirit. But we've got to make sure that it's done with good intent. And my intent is this: to empower, to ignite the heart and souls and spirits of every human being into a higher plane of consciousness of kindness, caring, and compassion and love towards one another and towards themselves. I want this planet to be more peaceful. I want us to rise up to a higher consciousness. I want us to elevate to the human beings we're meant to be. And if we keep going down this near-thunderable way of war, and what's mine is mine, and you're different, so I hate you, if we keep going down that paradigm, we will delete ourselves from this planet. We will annihilate ourselves. But if we can look at each other like a box of chocolates, and each one of us is a different flavor, you're not going to like every box of chocolate in there, but it doesn't mean you have to hate it either. It just means you do not partake. Live and let live, as long as no one is doing harm to one another. You don't have to kumbaya love everybody, but you can respect that's their choice, not your choice. When you go to a buffet, you don't eat everything there. You pick the things you like, and you don't blame people for liking something different, right? Blaming, shaming, judging, criticizing, and damning people for wanting something different or being something different has got to stop. Where I'm drawing the line is on that consciousness. I don't care what packaging you come in. I don't care what your skin color or your ethnicity or your culture is. I'm talking to your heart. I'm talking to your soul. I'm talking to your spirit. I'm talking to your soul wisdom. Are you being integral? Are you being ethical? Are you being kind? Are you being caring? Because the true enrichment and abundance, the true currency is in that enrichment and abundance of being. And the more enriched you are in your kindness, your caring, your givingness, your love of self and everything else, the more that currency of love grows. We've put too much power into things and not enough power into being. And no amount of what you buy is going to give you what you need on the inside. If we're feeling empty, you could buy the world and it won't be enough. We have to go in and bring the world in the inside. Discover who you are, why you are, what you're here to do. How are you going to do it? Which souls are you going to ignite? How are you going to bring a smile to someone's face? How are you going to help someone in need? What is it that you do that you can share with others that's going to illuminate their lives? That's what really the true enrichment is. And that's what I will fight for. I don't have time for the people who choose to live in the hate, the judging, and the damning, whether they choose it out of ignorance, whether they choose it out of fear, or whether they choose it out of just the desire to hate. I haven't got time to feed that. I've done that in the past and it didn't work. I have to empower everyone else to be that light and that illumination. And if these people wish to rise up, it must be their choice. If they wish to cross the road from the darkness to the light, it has to be their choice, and they have to participate on their own journey. But you can't help the people that are funders that want to stay in funder. We can help the people that want to become the sunshine, that want to become the air, that want to become the water. And that is what I'm here to do. And these are the people that I bring to you. And this is the work that I will continue to do. So, 500th show, almost 13 years in podcasting. Still so much more to do, and so much more to say, and so much more to give, and so much more to bring. But I'm asking you, all of humanity in every country, reach out in kindness, compassion, and caring to each other in any which way. Even the people that are having the hissy fit. You don't have to go down that road, but you can send them white light. You can send them love. If they're in your arena trying to spit and spat, you can in calmness. I know it's difficult. You have to train yourself to do that, to look at them and go, I wish you well, and I wish you gone. Not in my space. And the higher you elevate into a higher plane, the less they're able to actually come up and join you until they decide to do the work that they need to do in order to rise up, because that is what it's all about here. What do we need to do to elevate our consciousness, to elevate our wisdom, our wise knowledge, how to use that knowledge in a wise way that is beneficial to all, mankind, animal kind, mammal kind, and planet kind. Because when we do that, that's when we truly understand our purpose and our enrichment. So the work will continue, and I will do the best I can in bringing you the illuminating people. I thank you if you've listened to any of my shows. If you have listened to more than one through the years, please do drop me a comment in wherever you see this podcast. I would love to hear back from you. If there's a topic you would like me to address, please drop me a line, selfdiscoverywisdom@gmail.com, selfdiscoverywisdom@gmail.com, and I would love to address it in any which way I can. We are all in this together. April 4th, as I said, is my 13th year in podcasting. April 1st is I'm in another book. I'm not being selfish, I'm stop being manipulated. And it really does address, what is selfishness and what is self-care. and how easily we are manipulated, and how we feel that defending ourselves is being selfish, or that sometimes we've become selfish out of self-defense and we don't realize that. So I have a chapter in that book as well. So a lot happening here in April coming up, and March here. So spring is always my time to spring out with new things, and much more to come. And again, if you are a senior and you wish to contribute in our Forgotten Senior book, please go to the Orchard, ORCHARD, of Wisdom, Orchard of Wisdom .org, orchardofwisdom.org, and just go to the tag where it says Forgotten Seniors, our Forgotten Seniors, and on there is everything that we're offering, and how to participate as an author, and whom we're looking for. We want to address your triumphs, all the things you've succeeded in life, your challenges that you face now as a senior, and your wisdom that you wish to pass on to the youth of today in preparing for their seniorship. And if you wish to be a part of that book, please do reach out to me. And of course, our Forgotten Children book, which was an anthology we brought about on the raising of our children, is still very available. Audio will be coming. I'm just a bit behind on that. Ebook, paperback right now. 15 authors talking about what needs to change, how we need to support families and children, and where the problem lies, and how we again are the solution. So you may have gathered that I'm always looking at solutions, things that we can resolve, things that we can change. And when we believe we can, and we do. And I believe we can, and I believe we should. So let's just get on and do it. So until next week, folks, I wish you all well. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me all these years. And if you're new, there's plenty of shows in the archive. Obviously, go to selfdiscoverywisdom.com. If you go to where it says podcast, all of those banners are show genres, and you'll see Sara's View of Life, and all the shows I've done are there, and a lot more to come. So here's to the next 500. Cheers, folks. Bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tag at the top there, and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration, it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.